I definitely would endorse that it's the same process. So I've taught kids to read who have intellectual disabilities, kids who have dyslexia and no intellectual disability, kids who have autism, and every type of struggle with reading, and the process is always the same. Um, Depending on what the child's individual profile is, that tells you about, for example, with kids with intellectual disabilities, it's going to take longer. And we even have some research that tells us about how much longer, so you need to factor that in. And what I see with goal setting, for example, is that people don't factor that in, and they have a goal that the child's going to learn how to read closed syllables, and then they get a half an hour instruction twice a week. They'd be 50 before they reach that goal. So we have to like look at what is this child's individual profile. For kids with autism, for some kids, they decoding comes so easily. They can decode anything. And so there's no point in having these, long-standing decoding goals for a kid who's doing that, and who doesn't need us to focus our attention there. So it really depends. You're following the same process, the same goal, road to reading. But for depending on kids' individual learning profile, you're going to have to either focus more heavily on some areas, or you may have to just intensify the instruction or the intervention